Chapter 23 Demonic Artifact? Xidian Peak is the residence of true inheritance disciple Fang Qingxue. Right after she became a true disciple, she killed 8 outer disciples to establish her authority. Though the elders reprimanded her, they never imposed any real punishment. She is a true disciple no one dares to provoke. The moment the 3 words Xidian Peak left Fang Han's mouth, the faces of everyone present changed instantly. Especially the princes and princesses of the Great Li imperial family, their expressions shifted drastically, and they started whispering hurriedly among themselves. Humph. The most embarrassed were Prince Bao and the inner disciple who had just unleashed the flying sword. Prince Bao had been defeated by Fang Han, a long bleeding gash cut across his face. His dignity was completely trampled into the dirt. He pulled out a blood-stanching jade talisman from his bosom and stopped the bleeding in silence. The young prince of Great Li let out a cold snort through his nose, and extremely venomous light flickered in his eyes. An implacable, deadly hatred radiated clearly from his gaze. As for the inner disciple whose flying sword had been seized, he had originally been ready to fly into a rage and attack immediately, but the moment he heard Xidian Peak, deep apprehension surfaced on his face at once. My junior brother's Lingfeng sword is no ordinary treasure. It was bestowed by the sect elders after he achieved a great merit. It is a high-grade spiritual artifact that has slain countless demons and evil spirits. I hope you will return it. Otherwise, this training expedition is extremely dangerous, and you may well be harmed by hordes of demons. My junior brother acted recklessly just now, but this is only a minor grudge. Uniting for the expedition to slay demons is the greater matter. Can junior brother Fang consider the greater good? I apologize to junior brother Fang on my junior brother's behalf. Just then, a woman who looked around 20 years old spoke. She was clearly also an inner disciple with extremely high cultivation. She had willow brows and a fair face, a graceful figure, especially long legs and a snow-white neck. Her eyes looked as gentle as water, but occasionally a sharp glint flashed through them, giving her an air of natural leadership. Senior Sister Mo. Several imperial disciples of the Great Li Dynasty could not save face when they saw this woman actually apologize, and immediately tried to explain something, but this senior sister Mo waved her hand to stop them. She looked at Fang Han, her gaze holding both apology, pressure, and more than that, a desire to see through every secret Fang Han hid. This woman is formidable. Her aura is almost on par with Master by Haichan. She seems to also be a master at the 10th mortal realm, God Transformation. Now she is pressing me for the flying sword. Should I give it back or not? Besides, the submerged dragon yellow spring scroll has sealed the sword away. I can't seem to get it out. If I expose the submerged dragon yellow spring scroll, I will die for sure. What's more, a spiritual artifact is so precious. Why would I just hand it over so easily? What do they take me for? Facing senior sister Mo's gaze, thoughts raced non-stop through Fang Han's mind. Magical treasures were divided into ranks: mundane artifacts, spiritual artifacts, precious artifacts, Tao artifacts, and immortal artifacts. Mundane artifacts were items infused with magic power. Any master of the secret realm of supernatural powers who possessed magic power could refine one. As for spiritual artifacts, only a master who had cultivated to the 5th layer of the secret realm of supernatural powers, the Heaven Man realm, who could use magic power to lay great formations and carve magic arrays into an item, could refine one. A single spiritual artifact had enormous power. It was the most coveted defensive treasure for cultivators in the mortal physique realm. Take the Lingfeng sword from just now. After an ordinary person refined it with their blood essence, they could command it with their mind, make it fly about and slay enemies, without consuming any of their own stamina. It could not be drowned in water, nor burned in fire. A man holding it could face thousands of soldiers and horses with complete calm. If this spiritual flying sword fell into the hands of a mortal dynasty, one could easily seize the position of a duke or marquis with it, and enjoy wealth and honor for generations. In fact, if Prince Bao owned a spiritual artifact, returning to the Great Li Dynasty, he could easily shake the crown prince's position and become the heir apparent. Spiritual artifacts were incomparably precious. Even among the hundreds of thousands of disciples of Yuhua sect, only a few outstanding inner disciples could own one. Outer disciples could never own a spiritual artifact. At most they had ordinary mundane artifacts. Now that Fang Han had seized this spiritual artifact, the Lingfeng sword, not to mention he could not take it out, even if he could, he would not be willing to return it just like that. Senior Sister Mo, the current greater cause is to uphold the way and slay demons, to go to Lanyue Kingdom in the Hanhai Desert and rescue the common people from their suffering. I know this full well. But when the young lady of Xidian Peak bestowed this spiritual artifact on me, she only told me it was for self-defense against flying sword attacks, that I was to do a great thing for her. She never taught me how to use it, so I truly cannot get your senior brother's flying sword out. How about this? I will return to Xidian Peak tomorrow, and ask the young lady to take the sealed Lingfeng sword out of this artifact, then return it to your senior brother. Does that work? Fang Han had a quick idea, pushing all the responsibility onto Fang Xianxia to get through the current crisis first, and figure things out later when he got back. Oh? Senior Sister Xianxia actually gave you a spiritual artifact, and asked you to do a great thing for her. When Senior Sister Mo heard Fang Han's nonsense, her eyes flickered, as if she had guessed something herself. After a long while, she said, "Since that is the case, let us all prepare well tonight, and set out together for the Hanhai Desert tomorrow." Senior Sister Mo, my Lingfeng sword. I can't just let him take it away. The inner disciple who had unleashed the flying sword snarled with a ferocious expression, his gaze fixed firmly on Fang Han. I have my own judgment. Senior Sister Mo waved her hand again. In that case, I will take my leave first. Fang Han bowed and turned to Prince Bao. Prince Bao, we crossed swords today, and I have seen your strength firsthand. I will make you know what it means to regret this, Prince Bao said coldly. Why bother? Senior Sister Mo just said, the greater good comes first. I am a man who values the greater good. I will return to Xidian Peak first to prepare for the trip to the Hanhai Desert. Fang Han laughed loudly, turned and walked out. He went alone outside the city, then connected with the Myriad Beast token. Not long after, Crane Fairy soared down from the sky and landed in front of him. Fang Han, you've been an outer disciple for 20 days already. Why didn't you call me? What have you been doing all these days? Crane Fairy seemed quite dissatisfied. These days, I got beaten by someone, so I trained hard and beat him back. Fang Han told Crane Fairy the whole story between him and Prince Bao. Anyway, Crane Fairy was like an 8 or 9-year-old little girl, telling her this happy business would also help her set her own goal. Giggle, giggle. Sure enough, the story of Prince Bao delighted Crane Fairy greatly. Last time I went out, I ran into a golden winged ping that was twice my size. I almost got eaten by him. It looks like I need to train hard and go get my revenge. You can cultivate too? Fang Han climbed onto Crane Fairy's back, and they rose into the air. Of course. My body is much stronger than yours. The Pine Crane Longevity Fist of Yuhua sect was actually adapted from the movements of us cranes. The art I cultivate now is the primeval lunar spirit art, which Fang Xianxia taught me once. What? You know the primeval lunar spirit art that only inner disciples are allowed to learn? Fang Han had never expected that Crane Fairy would know this art. After one cultivated to the 8th mortal realm, divine valor, and trained countless layers of inner membranes, making the mortal body even tougher, one basically reached the limit. To go further, one had to cultivate the spirit. And that required all sorts of spirit cultivation methods. That meant, if Fang Han did not have a spirit cultivation method now, no matter how hard he trained, he could only refine his flesh a little more. He would never step into the 9th realm, the spirit communing realm. He would not be able to unlock his brain's potential. You must know that after entering the spirit communing realm, it was a whole new watershed. One gained the spiritual power to see through an opponent's life force. When one reached the 10th realm, God transformation, one even gained an eidetic memory. Rumor had it that on the eve of stepping into the secret realm of supernatural powers, one could reach the state where one could forget anything one wanted to forget. and remember anything deeply one wanted to remember. This state was pure spiritual cultivation, the unlocking of the brain's potential. All foundation was built on spiritual cultivation arts. Fang Han had originally thought he could only learn this after entering the inner gate. He never expected he could learn it from Crane Fairy. Crane Fairy, can you teach me the primeval lunar spirit art? Fang Han asked that. Of course I can. But you can't tell anyone, okay? Otherwise, Yuhua Sect's rules will have me killed and eaten as crane meat. I'm a little scared, Crane Fairy whispered. Only an idiot would tell anyone about such a good thing. Fang Han nodded hard. Xidian Peak came into view. Fang Han jumped down from Crane Fairy's back and saw Fang Chang standing in front of his residence. How does it feel, Fang Han? You finally made a name for yourself, become an outer disciple. Oh, it's Miss Chang. How did you know I would return to Xidian Peak today? Where is the young lady? Fang Han had always felt a sense of mystery around Fang Chang. He felt she was far more than just the head maid. I saw Crane Fairy fly out, so I knew you would come back. You asked about the young lady. I have something to tell you. The young lady received a letter from the elders today. She has already ended her seclusion and gone to the Hanhai Desert. It seems something big has happened in Lanyue Kingdom in the desert, Fang Chang said. By the way, I heard outer disciples are also going on this training expedition. Are you preparing to go too? That's right. I'll stay one night at Xidian Peak first, then take Crane Fairy out tomorrow, Fang Han said. In that case, I won't disturb you. If you can get a spot as an inner disciple in this expedition, that will be a great happy occasion. The Fang family will definitely revoke your slave status and make you a core disciple. I'll have to rely on your care in the Fang family in the future. Fang Chang smiled softly, then turned and left, leaving Fang Han staring at her back, lost in thought. Back at Yuhua Sect, in the inner immortal court of the inner gate, the inner disciple who had lost his Lingfeng sword, senior sister Mo, and several other inner disciples were all gathered together. Senior sister Mo, an outer disciple cannot possibly own a spiritual artifact. How could he have seized my flying sword? This sword is my life. I must get it back. The spiritual artifact on him, I guess it is not a treasure of our Yuhua sect. It is a demonic spiritual artifact. A demonic artifact. That's right, it's a demonic artifact. I've long heard rumors that Fang Xianxia had some entanglement with the demon marshal of the primordial demon sect. Maybe the demon marshal gave her a demonic artifact, and now she arranged for Fang Han to enter the outer gate of Yuhua, gave him the demonic artifact. He seems to be a pawn she is cultivating. This involves the primordial demon sect, so I did not make a move to take the sword back for you today. Senior Sister Mo's eyes flickered with many speculations.